You are now locked in the Conspiracy Asylum. The conspiracy. You are now locked in the Conspiracy Asylum. The Conspiracy Asylum. You are now locked in the Conspiracy Asylum. Your straitjacket and padded cell awaits.
Hello and welcome to the Conspiracy Asylum. This is DJ Schwartz once again. And once again, I'm chilling here with K to the I to the M.
I'm still here, guys.
She's still here. We're still alive.
We're doing okay.
We are doing okay.
We're doing better than okay. We're fine.
Yes. Yes. Considering all the circumstances within the last year and the fact that we haven't recorded a podcast in...
Well, the last podcast I remember recording is when the pandemic had first hit, which was damn near a year ago.
That was Flat Earth, was the last one we did.
So yeah, it's been a while.
Yes, it's been all of 2020.
Welcome
we just
back.
skipped that one. That year fucking sucks so bad. We just said, fuck it. We ain't putting no content out in 2020. No, it was, we had a bunch of other shit going on, but we're happy to be back, happy to be doing podcasts again. But today, we are going to be discussing 3 different conspiracy theories. It's kind of like a sampler platter. And 2 of the conspiracy theories actually kind of tie into the flat earth theory that we had basically made fun of in the last 2 episodes. But they are. Birds aren't real. Australia isn't real. And Eminem died in 2005 or 2006. Depends on where you look. No matter where you look, actually, I mean, one of them even said 2007, so that'll be interesting to look into. That will be our first theory we will get into. Before we go any farther, Kim.
What?
You got anything to say to the people?
Oh, sure. I have lots to say. Like, I am thankful to be back. I am thankful for Conspiracy Asylum to come back. We made it through coronavirus. So far, so good. Knock on wood. Hopefully our listeners are all doing okay.
Yes.
Big shout out to our friend Kat. She's a longtime listener. I know she's been having some health problems, but thank you for sticking with listening to us and staying in contact. And we're happy to deliver all of you guys some new content. And just thank you for listening.
And also, there's another shout out I'd like to give, and he's actually on my Facebook, and he actually kind of motivated me unintentionally to do more podcasts again. Edgar, I forgot his last name, but his first name I will never ever forget because that is a fucking cool ass first name. Thanks for the support, dude, and he's been waiting for a new episode along with apparently quite a few people, so we're definitely happy to be back. And we're super healthy this time.
We are, actually.
We're a lot healthier than the last time we talked to you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Our first conspiracy theory today will be on Eminem, Slim Shady, Marshall Mathers, Feminem, whatever you want to call them. Oh, God, all those stands are going to come after me. No, I'm not hating on him for his music. I am a huge fan of definitely his earlier stuff, not so much the stuff that comes out nowadays, but that's just because I'm getting old. And the music's kind of changed a little bit, and I like the Eminem that used to offend people and used to have parents running, screaming, crying with the fucking record albums in their hands and smashing into shit. I miss that Eminem. But there might be an explanation for that.
Cancel culture.
Well, no, the explanation might be that he's dead.
Yeah, that too.
He could be dead. He could be not with us anymore.
My name is what? My name is 6 feet under.
6 feet under. The real Slim Shady can't stand up.
Oh, shit.
That was an MGK reference right there, if anybody didn't get that. Rap Devil. All right, so there are a few articles I found online. There's a few forums I found a couple of things on too, but we're just basically going to go over lightly graze this one. If anybody has any kind of information on this one that we do not cover, let us know. We'll definitely look into it. You know, I honestly, when it comes to opinions and stuff like that, I don't really care if anybody agrees with me or not, but I do like hearing other opinions about the conspiracy theories that we talk about. So let us know. So the very first one, people think Eminem is a clone or a robot, or they think he is MK Ultra in some way, shape, or form.
Stunt double.
A lot of it has to do with a car accident that he got into back in 2006. Now, the 2005 theory, I'm not sure where that one actually comes from, because 2006 he actually got into an accident that was fairly bad. It's very similar to the Paul McCartney situation where people were theorizing that he was dead, and they didn't want to have kind of a domino effect come after the death of such a big person. If somebody is really big and then they die, fans feel like that they know them, that they are, some even feel like they are family to them in some way, shape, or form when they don't even know you.
It's basically a preventive measure just to make sure nobody goes and kills themselves when they find out that this guy died.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was trying to say, but I can't fucking talk. So, just when you think you've heard it all, leave it to the internet, that damn intranet, to blow your mind by telling you that Eminem died in 2006. This is actually a Distractify article, which is a website, distractify.com. I will be posting the link in the episode description so y'all can read it for yourselves. I am reading some of this stuff verbatim. I did not write this, just to clear the air. Eminem died in 2006, and the rapper you've been admiring for the past several years is actually a clone. Which a rapper by the name of Tom MacDonald actually went over in one of his songs. He had talked about cloned rappers, and like him or hate him, I mean, I could see why a lot of people don't like Tom MacDonald, but he did talk about cloned rappers, and one of them was Eminem, so it's kind of weird that this article actually came out talking about that he might be a clone. Or he's a robot, depending on which version of the theory you choose to believe. It's one of the wilder theories out there. But in cases like these, when one person comes up with the theory and what they see as evidence in quotations to back it up, the rest of the internet takes it and runs with it. This describes our whole media system
that is Reddit.
Right now.
That is Reddit in a nutshell.
That's Reddit, that's Twitter, that's Facebook, that is mainstream news, that's fucking everywhere. I don't care. Parler, fucking all of the little niche websites, it's the same fucking thing. It's a bunch of echo chambers that left or right wing or in the middle, like most of us really are. It's a bunch of echo chambers with like-minded individuals that pass these theories back and forth. I don't like calling it dangerous. Calling it dangerous basically gives more credit to the theory than is deserved. And that's why there's some theories that we will talk about in later episodes, but we're going to distance ourselves from the political shit for a little bit here. Concentrate on stuff that might not have to do with politics. There's a few groups out there, left and right, that have some pretty crazy conspiracy theories that eventually we will go over. But that's what most of the internet is right now. It's a big echo chamber where people are just taking what is called evidence, which most of the time is circumstantial. You know, his face looks different type of evidence.
Oh, lizard people.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, lizard people. Gotta love the lizard people. But that's basically the theory, guys. There isn't a lot to back it up. The evidence that they show to back it up, his style changed from 2006 to 2007, which I will agree there was a big switch there. But there's a big but there. That is around the time he got sober.
I could see that happening.
Yes.
But I mean, he's still pretty much all tracksuits or sweatsuits or whatever. I mean,
he dresses the fucking same because he was rich before he got sober.
But yeah, I guess his music kind of changed, didn't it?
Fuck yeah, it did. And went from sitting there killing his wife, stuffing her in the trunk, and robbing a liquor store on the way to drop her body off in a moat. Like, it was some fucked up shit. And for me, I like the crazy stories told in music, not just rap music, but any kind of music.
Unless
a lot of metal
country.
Bands. Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's country.
I'm not going to hate
they
on
took
old
my
school.
dog, they took my car, they took my house.
Yes. I'm not going to hate on old school country because there's some old school country I like, but anything after like 1990, no hate against anybody that likes country music, but metal is another music genre that is really good at telling stories and really good at telling horror stories. You know, I used to be, some people that fucking listen to the show knew that I used to be a juggalo, which is a fan of the Insane Clown Posse.
I am so grateful you are not anymore.
I don't have no hate for the juggalos, man.
Oh my God.
I ain't got no hate. I mean, that's clown love, babe.
No.
That's clown love. No, in all honesty, I love the music still, but I just not into it like I used to be. But Eminem was along those same lines where he was a really good storyteller. He still kind of is nowadays, but there's a lot of things that contribute to him having a different style now. Him being sober, it's probably the biggest one. Coming from a person that's had issues myself, that your way of thinking and your creativity is kind of different when you get sober. Now, all you need to do is find that little niche you're good at, and it doesn't matter if you're sober or if you're high all the time. I mean, obviously, to be healthy, you shouldn't be high all the time, but if you're really good at something, putting a substance in your body isn't going to make you any better at it. Most likely it's going to crash whatever the fuck you're trying to do. And Eminem realized that. And he went a little bit more poppy, stuff like that. But
well, he did like some kind of collab with Rihanna or something too. Like that.
Yep.
Yeah, he definitely went way more poppy.
And I think that was more like 2000.
That was like 2010, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
2009, who knows?
But yeah, that's pretty close. So I mean, we're inching really close to when he got sober and when his style changed. Now, the majority of the evidence, other than his content, all have to do with how he looks, which I will agree.
It's
Hold
weird.
on, let me show you. I will agree that it is kind of weird how his face changed.
Well, and I just remember him as like the blonde-haired guy. When did his hair get so dark? When did his facial hair get so dark? I don't recall.
That's his natural color.
It's just, it looks weird on him.
Because he used to bleach his hair. The one song, I think it was White America, that he came out with, which is a good song. I just listened to it the other day. He talks about he didn't know that bleaching his hair and throwing on a white tee and blue jeans would get him so famous.
Oh my God.
Which pretty much anybody that dressed up like Eminem looked like Eminem. If you just wore the blue jeans and you had the white tee and you had the blonde hair, the bleached blonde hair, you looked just like him. It's funny. Distractify right now is using another...
They're quoting Lad Bible.
Yes, they're using another tabloid website as a
source.
A source. Oh, and Daily Star and YouTube videos.
Oh, boy. Buckle up, guys. It's going to be bumpy. And not the good kind.
That's what she said. All right, so tons of YouTube videos, the Daily Star, Lad Bible. The conspiracy popped up sometime after 2006 when the theory states Eminem died. He was then supposedly replaced with a clone, so he could be more closely controlled by those in charge of the music industry. Money, that's all you need is money.
Uh-huh.
You don't need to kill somebody. Especially somebody like Eminem that came from such a poor place in America. For those few that may not know, he comes from Detroit. He comes from a place on 8 Mile, and that was a ghetto of some sort. Parts of 8 Mile. But yeah, he came from an area where money was very scarce. And somebody like him, all they have to do is wave money in front of him, and he'll fucking do basically what they want. A lot of people saw it the opposite way back when he first came out. No, shock rock and shock rap was in. So doing that made you money. A lot of people looked at, oh, you could make more money if you didn't cuss and do all this shit. Fuck no, he couldn't. He would never have been as big as he is today if he would have censored himself at all. That was one of the main reasons I liked him. He didn't give a fuck. But sure, Jan, obviously.
That's a really shitty quote. Sure, Jan, obviously there is literally no evidence to suggest this is true. So it's just going to be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, that's funny.
That's exactly what
that's what
it says.
No, Jan. Sure, Jan. Whatever you say, Jan.
Okay,
it's like
Karen.
Another Karen. Yeah.
Yeah, his weird cough thing hasn't gone away.
No, and I started vaping last July, and I mean, it's kind of helped, but yeah, I still hack. I'll edit them out.
It's disgusting, but he doesn't smell as bad now.
Not as bad. The cigarette smell went away, but the cat piss is still there.
Oh my God.
But if
Gross.
you ask the dozens of Redditors who cling to this theory, connecting the dots of other famous singers who have changed over the years and comparing old and new photographs of Eminem, they might say differently.
Some tweet.
Some random tweet that they put in this. Who wrote this goddamn article?
A tweet from a twit. Ever since they cloned Eminem, he ain't been the same. Jeez.
Come on, Josh. That's the guy's name on Twitter is Josh. And it's just a random tweet with 6 likes. Why the fuck would you put that in a news article?
Right, like that's, yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense at all. But, oh, cool. They actually, Tom MacDonald's song.
They have it quoted here.
They do. They're using his song as evidence.
Oh, my Lord. I think it's even more fascinating that Tiger King just popped up on the right-hand side as like a commercial, like trying to remind us that, that was the first half of the pandemic.
Well, we should do an episode on that. Everybody knows the info on it, but we like to put our own little spin and make fun of it.
Oh, my
God.
Fuck you, Carol Baskins. Fuck you.
Maybe we'll do like a watch-along or something like that.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We can do it. We can stream it. We'll record ourselves, too, and we've got the setup for it, so we could definitely do it. I've been taking my hand at trying to stream and stuff like that as practice for this right now. The Holy Grail Conspiracy Asylum.
Yeah, we didn't do it tonight because I'm already in my pajamas, so fuck that.
I'm sure everybody would have loved to see your boobies in pajamas.
No thanks.
Boobies in pajamas. It's like bananas in pajamas.
Well, since I've lost all the weight, I lost my boobies too.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
They're gone.
They're still there.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Another part of the theory, which claims Eminem died in 2006, and the rapper you know today is more than an imposter, includes mentions of the Illuminati.
Because of course it does.
Help it!
I'm passionate about something. I gotta yell about it.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God.
Just had to check the recording. Yes. Because of course it does. It has to do with the Illuminati. 100%. No questions asked.
Just because she's quoting Tom MacDonald's song, Cloned Rappers.
Oh my God. And the reasoning behind it, it says, because of course it is. This is because of the 2019 song, Cloned Rappers by Tom MacDonald. The lyrics state that the Illuminati, quote, took bone samples to clone rappers and mentions Eminem by name. Fucking case closed.
Factual as fuck right there.
You can't get better facts than that. Come on, you guys. Go over to Distractify. Distractify. And some might claim a 2017 complex interview in which Eminem praised Jay-Z, the alleged face of the Illuminati, adds to the theory that the Illuminati replaced Eminem to further its agenda. In the interview, Eminem praised Jay-Z and said that he is, quote, very in tune with the times, and then he does something his own way, and other people follow it. Trying to quote Eminem is nearly impossible, apparently, because I had a hard time reading that. He added, that's amazing to me. So I've always looked up to Jay-Z for that. Honestly, as a person that used to be a huge Eminem fan, which I still am to a degree, that disappoints me. Eminem isn't supposed to be sitting there fucking going, oh, I look up to Jay-Z.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
It's stupid. It's stupid. I think he did it, obviously, to not...
He forgot about Dre.
He fucking forgot about Dre. This is what happens when you forget about Dre.
I couldn't help myself any longer.
That was perfect fucking timing, okay? I ain't mad at you.
Better not be.
For some, the theory is supported by Eminem's alleged glitching on TV.
Oh, my God.
Which a lot of these, what people don't understand is since the advent of digital media and since the advent of, am I saying that word right?
I don't think so.
Take two, bitch. Well, the thing is with the glitching is that
since the invention of social media.
The thing is with the glitching is ever since we converted everything to digital and we're all online and everything's getting streamed, a lot of these glitches, quote unquote glitches, are just technical errors. It's
loading wrong. It's buffering.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. I've watched it happen while I was streaming something where like my face goes blurred for a fucking second. And it's not like blurred when they're blurring out like titties and dick on TV. It's like blurred as in like
it freezes
it glitches.
In a frame.
Yeah, like there's little blocks and
like hold on real quick. Let me replace myself with my clone.
Right. Because I got a clone of myself. He's in the fucking closet. It's JD.
He's living with his mother.
His name's JD. No, my son is my
Parker.
Clone. Parker is my clone. That's
yes,
my son.
He is.
And he is lucky enough to have his daddy's good looks.
Oh, boy.
And lucky enough to behave just like daddy.
Oh, God.
It just means I can keep a close eye on him.
Oh, yeah, you need to keep a close eye on him.
But, okay, so the piece of proof that was presented in correlation with the theory about Eminem dying in 2006 and being replaced by a clone is a television incident plenty of viewers took notice of. You see how they wrote... This dude wrote this article like I wrote papers back in like high school.
Let's try to just change the sentence around to have as many words as possible because I need to hit my 300 word whatever per page.
It's exactly what it is. He's repeating the same exact thing in every single fucking paragraph. But we're going to wrap this one up. I'm just going to say that there isn't a whole lot of solid proof for this one, obviously, or it would be more rampant than it was. I'm not saying that it would have been on the news or anything like that. There's plenty of shit that don't make the news that probably should.
If he decides to just try his hand at country, then I'd say, yeah, he's a fucking clone and who the hell is this clown? But, I mean, I don't have any, substantial evidence to convince me that he's actually dead and gone.
I honestly think he just grew up.
Yeah, he's finally getting old. He's got to be damn near 50 now. His daughter is an adult.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yes, and MGK has talked about her. But
all right, should we?
So with the goddamn it, fucking microphone. Got to learn how to work those again. With the Eminem theory, we're kind of going to leave it there. We will at the end go over our opinions on each of these subjects.
You don't want to give them right after each one.
Do you want to do it?
I feel like that'd probably
you want to do it
beneficial.
That way? Okay, we'll do it that way then. What do you think about Eminem being a clone, robot, or fuckboy?
Okay, so, like I had said just a little bit ago, I don't have enough evidence to prove that he's actually dead. So I never heard of this conspiracy theory before this, so this kind of blew me away. Like, what? Where are these people coming from? So I don't believe any of this crap. What about you?
Well, I can understand about the conspiracy theory, never hearing it before, because it is a very niche one that I just kind of...
You fell into a hole.
Well, there's not much of a hole to fall into. You guys can go look it up. I suggest using DuckDuckGo because Google, anything with conspiracy in it is buried now. So get DuckDuckGo. It's just like Google. I don't believe it. I don't think he's a clone. I don't think he's dead.
I think he just got sober and that's what changed.
Yes. And with his face?
When you get sober, your face will change too.
Yes. And this is something that I had learned back in the day, back when I was a teenager. When I had tried a few things, my face physically changed. I had a friend tell me that she was scared because my face actually changed. It didn't change like lizard person change, but the way my muscles were all stretched out from the substance and the way I was smiling, grinding my teeth, I looked completely different. Which, Eminem, you can tell that he has a little bit of wear and tear on his face. He still looks good for being almost 50. Your face does change over time, obviously, and also when you're that hard on your nervous system, because he was on pain pills, when you're that hard on your nervous system, you're going to fuck shit up.
Just to clarify, Eminem is 48 years old. So
oh, wow.
Like 50.
He's fucking sexy for 48.
The fuck?
Jump
Where are we
up
going?
and down on his tiny peeny weenie.
Oh my god, where are we going from here?
Where do we go from here?
Are we going to Australia?
Now that all of the children have grown up. Let's do Birds Not Real.
All right. So this one I've heard before. This one I thought was kind of stupid and funny, but I could totally see where they're coming from. So the objective of this one is that birds aren't actually real, that they're drones, and that the government is sending them around to keep an eye on you or spy on you, listen in on what your conversations are. So we'll dig a little deeper into this topic because it's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, it's actually very interesting to the point that I found birdsaren'treal.com.
Oh my god, there's a real website, guys.
There is a real website, and they sell t-shirts, they sell all kinds of stuff.
They have an ugly sweater for Christmas that says birds aren't real. Don't trust the partridge in the pear tree. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Christ. There's one that with a picture of a bird that just says, I am a lie.
Oh my god. I kind of want one of these just because it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah. There was a couple of t-shirts I wanted from like Flat Earth and shit like that somebody designed pretty well. I would rock it just to mock it.
Imagine the conversation piece.
Yeah. Oh, God.
The looks you'd get.
My family already knows that I have a conspiracy theory podcast and then I come around with a Flat Earth shirt on. They're going to fucking put me in a psych ward.
I don't think you need the Flat Earth shirt for that.
Son of a bitch. All right. It's all good. I know I'm a little crazy, but it's kind of crazy that they have their own shop and everything like that. I mean, this podcast even had a shop for a little while, which I'll probably open it back up eventually here. But we are not going to be really taking any kind of donations or money or anything like that for a while for this podcast. It's always going to be free, first of all, even when we're taking any kind of revenue from it. It's going to be free to you guys. We're never going to sit here and beg you for fucking money because this is for fun, and I love doing it. But anybody can make a dropship website. You can do it for free right now. The way it works and the way our t-shirts worked, we didn't have stock. There wasn't like, we didn't have a stock of shirts, shit like that. You would order from Printify. You could make an Etsy store on Etsy and connect it to your Printify. So what happened was you order a t-shirt. What happens is it goes to Printify, it goes to my account, and then they draw the money for the cost of the shirt to make it and ship it. They draw that from my bank account directly, and then they send you the shirt, and then, I mean, I would receive payment right when you did that too. There isn't really risk involved. Unless you pick like their premium plan where you get like discounts on cost and everything. But anybody can do it. Go to Printify if you guys want to make your own fucking shirts.
Side scroll.
Yes.
Way off topic.
Side squirrel. Party time. Excellent. Okay. Birds aren't real. I'm more amped for this than I thought I would be. Is that JFK pardoning a turkey? Was that turkey fake? Is that why JFK got shot?
It says robot bird prototype around his fucking neck.
Oh my god.
Our cat just like moved the whole kitchen table.
Yeah. Podcat. Motherfucking podcat.
Fat cat. He's lost 2 pounds too. So it's not just me losing weight, it's him too.
It's because we've been cutting down on his fucking trees because he's enormous. This is the history. This is birdsaren'treal.com. This is the history of it.
.com. Oh my god.
This shit ain't real.com. That would be just a great website to have. This shit ain't real.com.
Imagine all the conspiracy theories we could cram on there.
This shit ain't real.com. I can check it. I will later. So, chapter 1 in the history of Birds Aren't Real.
How many fucking chapters is this?
Chapter 1 is
reading a book.
Chapter 1 is literally called Why? ? For why though? When asked to write the abridged history of this organization, the Birds Aren't Real community, I was taken aback. I knew that I had reached many thousands. Oh my God, who the fuck wrote this?
That's why I said. Let's go down to So It Begins.
Yeah, hold on. I want to read the rest of the sentence that this fucking crackhead wrote. I knew that I had reached many thousands in my quest to spread the truth, but I was bewildered and frustrated with myself when I realized that I had not yet done an acute job of giving details. The why, the how, when, who, etc. I knew that I had to write something that was concise, accurate, and free of any fault or error. This guy just found a bunch of words that sounded smart and plugged them in random fucking places.
Word vomit.
That's what he did. Like, he used taken aback, which that's a saying, but who the fuck says that?
Aback. Taken aback. How
yes,
about taken
which is
back?
a saying, but why don't you say I was taken back?
Oh, no, read the next one. It's even better. It goes longer.
Oh, God. This is my work. Prepare to take a journey into the history that they will not, dare I say, never teach in school.
You lost it.
Oh, that's a double negative. He just did a double negative. Prepare to take a journey into history that they will not, dare I say, never teach you in school. So they will teach you in school?
Apparently.
They will not never teach you in school. So they might. They might not never know.
That's why I said
never,
it gets better. Keep going.
Don't never teach.
Don't never not teach.
Much of what you're about, oh my God.
Stay in school, folks. Stay in school.
Yeah, no shit. Well, yeah, part of it's just not being retarded. Much of what... Try not to be retarded. Nothing against retarded people. Much of what you are about to read has been censored for almost 60 years. Who knows how long it will take our corrupt government to block this website? Only time will tell. In the meantime, I ask that you take 20 minutes out of your busy day and read all of this information, soak it in, revel in the fact that everything you know is one big lie.
Because I'm going to believe the person that uses double negatives and cramps a bunch of words together to try and make a sentence longer. So long. I'm not that blind. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, now you can fucking see it. Each letter's an inch tall.
An inch tall. Jesus Christ. And so it begins. In 1947, the CIA was founded. Its sole responsibility to watch and survey tens of thousands of Americans suspected of doing communist things.
Yep.
Interesting.
That is halfway true, yes.
Okay. This orchestrated stalking epidemic went on for almost 5 years, and few were found guilty of any real crimes. However, it became clear that in the early 1950s that the threat of communism was only going to rise, and the broader system was needed to track any individual who was suspected of such activity. Man, this shit needs to come back around.
No, this was terrible. What I gotta add here is that the threat of communism, I know we're gonna get comments, so I'm gonna fucking say something. I will admit that the people that are writing this, the people that usually talk about the threat of communism, don't really take into account the actual definition of communism. I don't care if this pisses people off. Communism is impossible to attain. It's a utopia. I mean, saying that like China is communist isn't correct either. It's socialist, but it's not communist. And that's part of the reason why this was so dangerous. They walk around and label people things, and that could cause violence in and of itself. When you have the government doing that, they have carte blanche to basically do anything to anybody, regardless of where you are in the political spectrum. They just label you a communist, and they fucking kill you. Or they do something, they put you in fucking prison.
All right, so the fears were only encouraged when in 1951, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. Rosenberg.
Very interesting story.
Okay. Were wrongly arrested and convicted of espionage against the United States, accused of spying on behalf of the Soviet Union, the big boy communist people, in parentheses, I might add.
You big boy.
Oh, boy. This highly publicized event gave the government a small window to implement a new program that would place the first CCTV surveillance cameras in areas with high Russian immigrant concentration.
That was a bad word to use.
Concentration. Jesus fucking Christ.
Bad. Why would you use that? Oh my God. When they're talking about borderline Nazi shit, they say concentration. That's not.
Scroll down. I'll keep going.
Okay. But yeah, they're still doing this shit today. They're still spying on American citizens. Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to come back to this Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. What happened to them is they were wrongfully convicted and arrested of espionage, and I do believe they were put to death.
Oh.
So I wanted to come back to the Julius and Ethel Rosenberg point, saying that they were wrongfully arrested, convicted, and executed by the United States government over accusations of being communist. That's how crazy the Red Scare was, which the Red Scare was something that happened in the 50s, 60s, and it might have even stretched into like the 70s and 80s, but it was really bad in the 50s and 60s, where you could accuse your neighbor of being a communist and then fucking FBI agents would come busting in their door and take them away. It wasn't just the CIA. Go ahead, from this went on for a few years.
I wanted to be sure that you were done with your point.
Sorry, I had to get that in there.
Okay. This went on for a few years or so, when in 1953, Alan Dulles, or Dulles, whomever, was made the first civilian director of the Central Intelligence Agency, or we know it as the CIA, and made it his mission to ramp up the surveillance program, hiding cameras in thousands of locations and ordering his staff to plant them in areas that would be impossible to detect. Although, let's face it, in the 1950s, you could walk into a bank with a slingshot and steal thousands of dollars. Security was one big joke.
Yeah.
He knew that the possibilities for this camera program were endless. And on April 15th, 1956, met with President Dwight D. Eisenhower and proposed a plan that would put cameras in the sky. Dulles knew that the sky was the future for his surveillance program, as you could truly track someone with a moving camera much easier than having to switch between cameras on street corners and hidden in storm drains. One camera in the sky could do the work of hundreds on the ground. Now just imagine they're using those cameras in storm drains with all these women wearing skirts.
And this was in the 50s?
Yep.
Jesus Christ, that's actually pretty fucking advanced for back then.
I feel like cameras would be really big back then, though. I mean,
if they stripped the casing off and everything like that, they might have been able to fit it in something small. I could only imagine that they probably could have, but it has to hook up to some type of recording device, and we didn't have hard drives. So, we might add something like it. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but
they didn't really have computers back then, did they?
No, computers were the size of a room.
A house.
My dad used to tell me about it. It was like industrial machinery in a room, and there were like 8 towers, and those were all the computing power of like less than a quarter of our cell phones. It's insane.
Eisenhower approved the initial idea and asked him to return when he had figured out how to make it possible. Dulles left the Oval Office and immediately flew to an undisclosed location, meeting with various members of his inner circle to discuss the plan in more intricate detail. It is believed that the initial plan for killing all of the birds and replacing them with flying cameras was thought up one weekend in May of 1956. Oof. That's interesting. I didn't grab a drink. Okay.
Now, hear me out, guys. I got a plan. We're going to kill all the birds.
And we're going to stuff these cameras in their dead bodies.
Hold up. Hear me out. We're going to replace them with impossibly small cameras in the 50s.
Yep.
Go on.
I have to insert a stupid joke here. I have to. So you know how 3 crows is called a murder, right?
Yes.
If you find 2 crows, is it an attempted murder?
Yeah, fuck that.
But Okay. Duels and his team hated birds with a passion. I wonder why. And they were heard on many occasions calling them flying slugs and scum of the skies, as they would often poop on their cars in parking lots of the CIA headquarters, and quite frankly, all over the DC metro area. I believe this was one of the driving forces that led Duels to not only implement robots into the sky, but actually replace birds in the process.
Oh my God.
They did not need to kill all the birds and could have launched a quarter of the robot birds that they did, but the pigeons in DC at the time were absolutely ruthless.
Just a note to everybody, what she just read all the way from Duels and his team hated birds, that was all underlined for absolutely no reason.
Yep.
I have no reason.
It made it difficult to read.
I guess this is the why they did it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it kind of explains.
Yeah. I mean
it adds to the theory.
The theory itself, it kind of ties up a lot of loose ends, but obviously there's a lot of holes.
It keeps getting better. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so he's going on about the pigeons in D.C. at the time were absolutely ruthless. They were eating very well as American morale was high. People were feeding them much more in public parks and on the streets. This, in turn, created a huge amounts of pigeon feces. Pigeon shit. That would be inevitably finding its way to the windshield of many men and women, all whom grew not to only hate pigeons, but all birds. In a stolen transcript from an ex-CIA deputy, she says, yeah, the higher-ups were so annoyed that the birds had been dropping fecal matter on their car windows that they vowed to wipe out every single flying feathered creature in the North America.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking PETA's worst nightmare, the CIA.
Fucking birds.
The fucking CIA.
Well, and I've been attacked by fucking pigeons before. I mean, going up to Duluth and walking on the pier with popcorn, they fucking fly at you and they attack you until you give them the fucking popcorn.
Nothing is meaner than geese, though.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Geese are Canadian geese? Holy shit. They're assholes, man.
Don't go running at them. They'll come running back at you.
They used to chase me when I was a child.
They'll bite you.
My uncle had pet geese. And
Your uncle was nuts if he had pet geese.
He had pet geese. He had pet goats. He had horses. He had all types of shit in Arizona. And my grandma lived on the same property as my uncle. It was two different houses, and it was a lot split down the middle. And I was running from my grandma's to my uncle's, being chased by fucking like 3 geese, me and my sister. I was leaving my sister behind.
Let her get bit.
Yeah, I was.
In this meeting, they sought to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Ha ha ha. And remove all birds from the United States, thus eliminating their fecal problem. But as replacing these birds with billions of sophisticated robot lookalikes capable of mimicking real birds in every way.
Hear me out. Getting rid of the fecal problem would be eliminating the CIA. Problem solved. Go ahead.
Duels and his team wanted to create the greatest surveillance system ever imagined. It sounds like a Trump thing to say. With the capability of...
It's going to be huge. It's going to be enormous. It'll be the best ever. Quite frankly, I would say it's the best.
With the capability of tracking someone on foot, in a vehicle, or even in their personal home. Christ.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a really good way to spy on people without them really knowing at all or suspecting anything.
You fucking bring home Tweety Bird in a cage and it's a fucking camera. Oh my god, the picture of it's fucking terrifying.
There is a theory, I don't know if they go over it in this at all, but I think this was written maybe last year, but the birds aren't real people started to come around again last year because the theory was that 2020 was the year that they're supposed to recharge the birds.
Oh my god.
So they kept everybody inside.
Oh my god.
According to them, COVID is fake and the pigeon robots are real and they're charging them all of last year.
No, we're not saying that we believe any of this.
No.
We're not the ones telling you this.
COVID's definitely real, but these pigeons, however, I don't think so. I like the poster here, though.
Eyes in the sky. It's got a fucking camera for a head on this pigeon.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
That would actually be kind of a cool thing. I kind of want to get that printed out, put it on the wall next
Can you imagine
to the flat Earth map.
Imagine how fun Duck Hunt would be.
Jesus Christ.
Just blowing all the things up.
All right, now the how.
Oh, boy.
It is imperative that we discuss the methods that the government used to extinguish over 12 billion birds between 1959 and 1971. Yeah, you're going to have to explain yourself. Like, that's a lot of birds to kill, man.
I don't think they're all coming to the D.C. area either.
I honestly, if this was real, I would think they would just kill, like, just pigeons. And that's it.
Fuck you, pigeon.
Why,
fuck you in particular.
Why would they kill all birds? It doesn't make sense, but we'll keep going here. If we are to make disciples of the birds aren't real movement, we must equip each and every person with the knowledge of what truly happened in this saga of insanity and the government corruption. Here are the facts and eyewitness accounts of various key events that occurred within our nation that completely destroyed every man, woman, and child bird in existence.
Jesus fucking Christ. We're back to the person that likes to use run-on sentences, and there's like no commas in there, so it's
no
every
punctuation.
It's every man, woman, and child bird in existence. Like there's no pause in between any of those.
Is that a bird child bird? Is that like Harvey Birdman, attorney at law?
It's every man, woman. It's not every woman, man. It's every man, woman.
Yes, every man, woman. That could be offensive.
It could.
Okay. I touched on him. What?
I touched on him for a brief moment in the last chapter, but I want to drive us all nuts in the Alan Walsh Doolies.
Fucking Christ.
I added a few of my own words there.
That's perfect.
The director of the Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA, I just feel like making this extremely long for people to read.
Yes.
From 1953 to 1961, upon the government writing the plan to slowly kill off the birds, it was his responsibility to make it a reality. He was given the task of reallocating $65 billion of public health funds towards the forced extension.
Fucking Christ. $65 billion back in the 50s.
To go bird hunting. On May 6, 1957, he met with an unidentified man from the Boeing Airplane Company and ordered 120 B-52 bombers. How are you going to bomb a shitload of fucking birds? Oh my god, he's retarded. There's not going to be anything left of the birds.
Let's nuke them.
Oh my god. Hit the button, guy.
Fucking nuke all the birds, man.
Dulles knew that if his government was to go undetected, he had to keep these aircraft out of sight from the American public. Jesus Christ. And he was under strict orders not to leave a trace of his actions. So he devised a plan to construct the aircraft known as Nevada's Area 51.
And we got Area 51.
All right. Now we're rolling it into aliens. All right.
Yes, sir.
Excuse you. My dick's bigger than yours.
Fucking Christ! You always gotta bring that up.
Oh my god. No, I don't have a dick.
I got a small wiener.
Okay.
It is a teeny tiny peen.
Okay, so this way, the citizens of Seattle, Washington, where the Boeing was headquartered, wouldn't be able to claim that the bombers had been built nearby if the government was exposed.
Expose them. Expose them.
There you go, a little one you can read.
23 men from within the Boeing engineering department traveled to Area 51 in the back of an old school bus that they purchased from a salvage yard in, okay, I'm about to butcher this town name in Washington, but it's Mukilteo, Washington. They purchased it from a salvage yard in Mukilteo, Washington.
Why is that even relevant?
There's no comma there either. Fucking Christ. They were seen by a few individuals bringing couches and rugs into the bus and were also heard discussing, and I quote, really cool playlists for the road trip.
Oh my god, because that whole...
Wait. Playlists? Isn't this the fucking 50s?
Yeah, what the hell? I think this person's pulling shit out of their ass.
Yeah, because, like, what? You had the radio, and then a very select few people had record players that could go in your car that you could play 45s on. And I've seen it before. But playlists? How are you making a fucking playlist, man? Okay, clearly the Boeing engineers didn't get the memo from Dulles about remaining undetected and actually painted Area 51 or bust on both sides of the bus. Whenever they would stop for gas, they would set up a makeshift campsite in the parking lot and sing songs with titles such as I Left My Honey for Area 51 and Let's Kill All the Birds.
I don't think those were songs back then.
Oh my God.
This is so like satirical.
I have a feeling that this is satirical. Now, okay, we don't have to read all this shit word for word.
Yeah, because I feel like this is just like somebody.
This is a made-up fucking story. This is what this is. The main evidence for this is that they have a bunch of bullshit stories of people finding birds with wires attached. 2020 being evidence for some fucking reason. There's a lot of just weird little shit, but there's no concrete proof, of course. There really isn't. It's a lot of circumstantial connecting dots that probably shouldn't even be connected and just making shit up.
Well, I mean, and it like birds having wires in them. Okay, so let's say somebody left wire on the ground. It looks like a fucking worm if it's coated with plastic or what it's supposed to be coated with. So, of course, the bird's going to fucking eat it. It doesn't know any better.
Most likely scenario, though, is somebody that's mentally ill that needs attention fucking put it on the internet saying they found a wire in a bird.
I mean, that's possible.
That's very possible, especially with the way things are going lately.
Should we give our opinions on this? I think we kind of just did, but...
Kinda, yeah.
No, I don't believe this one bit either.
No. This is one of the ones that the backstory behind it is very intriguing, and it would kind of make sense. There's too many things that, like, I understand punctuation, spelling, grammar, not the most important thing. I hate it when people bring it up in arguments because it means that you don't really have an argument. But when you're presenting evidence for something that's so controversial, you better make sure that all of that shit's right. And the fact that on their official website, there's fucking typos, run-on sentences, all that shit makes me think either it's a satirical website or undereducated people, maybe mentally ill, that are actually doing this. So
nothing against mentally ill people.
No, that's the thing, is I'm not saying it as a pejorative. Too many people use that shit as a pejorative. It's not supposed to be an insult. It's a descriptive word. They're mentally ill. It's not supposed to mean, oh, you're a bad person or you're stupid or you're a fuckhead. It's not supposed to be any of those. Too many people use words like that and other words such as like racist, homophobic, all that type of shit to insult somebody instead of using it as a descriptive for somebody with a shitty outlook on life. And that's kind of what happens.
It just sounds like
mentally ill.
Paranoia mostly.
Yeah. And the movement began in the 70s, and it stretched all the way to today.
Which is interesting.
Very, very interesting. Go check out.
Why would we need, birds that, like cameras? We have drones now. We have drones.
Yeah, we wouldn't. There's no reason. The only reason, well, there isn't any reason anymore. I mean, we could take pictures from space and they can steal our fucking house.
Google Maps.
Yeah, there's no fucking reason for birds being fucking drones.
Oh, hey, look, my car's parked in the driveway. Google Maps.
Close that motherfucking window. All right, last but certainly not least, our last conspiracy theory.
If you're still listening, I appreciate it. This is probably going to run a little bit longer than intentional or we originally intended.
Yeah. No, I think it's good to have a good long one.
That's what she said.
But no, I do appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the people that have been, encouraging us and pushing us to do this. Nobody forced us, obviously. Nobody sat there and bugged us relentlessly until we did it, which I appreciate also. But we do appreciate all of the positive reinforcement and positive encouragement.
Not just that, but we've made so many friends along the way.
Yes. And that's one of the reasons it kind of holds me accountable to the podcast too. I know that it's not a life or death thing like somebody listens to this podcast, but the fact that there has been a couple of people that have messaged me in the last couple of years saying, that the podcast really helped them get through bad days and shit like that. And that is incredible. That is one of the coolest things I could ever hear from somebody, is that it affected their day positively. But our last one, last but certainly not least.
I don't know shit
it
about
is about
this one.
the thunder from down under. We're not talking about male strippers. We're talking about Australia. And Australia not being real, being fucking fake.
Crikey.
Fake as shit. It's the greatest lie ever told, supposedly. And it was how Australia is fake. Now, the whole theory stems from the UK, Britain, England, whatever you want to call it, exiling all of their prisoners to an island. And this island was Australia. Now, this theory states, this is the theory, that Australia actually isn't real, and they needed an excuse to say where they took all these people, but they killed all these people that supposedly were sent to that island. Now, this theory is very closely related to the flat earth theory. Very closely related, because there's a lot of intersecting points. And the same thing with the birds aren't real theory. A lot of intersecting points.
Maybe it's intersecting lines. This isn't three-dimensional if we're flat earth, huh?
Fucking Christ. Yeah, I know. My language is a little fucked up right now. I apologize. I'm trying to get back into this motherfucking thing, and that's why I've been recording random shit just to...
And if anything, my language has probably cleaned up a bit because I work for a radio station.
She does now. She works for a radio station. She works...
I got a job in doing something I'm halfway passionate about.
Yep. She works at a radio station, and it's fucking cool, man. I get to nerd out a little bit when she shows me pictures of the studio and shit like that. I get so jealous. But okay, the greatest lie ever told. One fascinating, extraordinary belief that I have just recently come to know is the idea that the country of Australia doesn't exist. The theory holds that Australia is just an elaborate cover-up by the British government for a mass murder. People believe that when Australia was founded as a penal colony...
Such a great name.
Oh my God. People believe that when Australia was founded as a penal colony, that the prisoners were killed instead of sent to the non-existent island. But England couldn't admit that outright, which, if they did do that, I could understand why they're still covering it up, because that would be an atrocity of the likes of, like, the Holocaust.
Now, these people would argue that it has simply been too long, so the British government maintains the conspiracy so as not to be viewed as lying and monstrous. The people that believe this are the people who believe in the flat earth theory, thinking that to execute these prisoners, they sailed them over the edge of the world. This belief has found a recent resurgence in notability, though its height of popularity was back somewhere around 2006. This belief is important and extraordinary because it shows the depths to which people may believe the most insane things, and how one extraordinary belief may stem from or feed off of another extraordinary belief. I can tell I'm getting tired because I can't read for shit anymore. We can finish tonight. Ha ha ha.
Ah, we will finish. Okay.
Oh, Lord. We're down to obviously.
Okay. Obviously, there are many things that one would think proves the existence of Australia, but believers have ways of refuting each.
Puberty is not good to you.
Apparently not. Going through my fourth puberty.
This week.
Yes. All right. There isn't much of any proof that Australia is fake, but if they can show that the things that are used for the counter-argument may be wrong, then the only explanation for that is that there is some interest in keeping Australia despite the lack of evidence. Okay, another one with
sense.
run-on fucking sentence. Okay, what he was trying to get to there, there isn't much of any proof that Australia is fake. Basically, the proof is that there is no counter-argument that they cannot refute. So they're saying that, people say, well, there's pictures of Australia from space. Well, flat earthers and people that believe that Australia is fake would say, well, those pictures are doctored, that those pictures are photoshopped, that those pictures are straight up not real. They're CGI. There's something. And if you can't refute that, which that's not how things work.
Sick a kangaroo on them.
Well, yeah, no shit. Too many people think like that, you don't have a good argument against this, so that means that this is correct.
That I'm right.
Right. Their logic is that, okay, I say Australia doesn't exist. And then if Kim were to say, hey, well, there's pictures of it, and what about all the people that live in Australia and everything like that? Well, as a Australia disbeliever, I guess, my counter argument would be, well, that's CGI, that's some type of Photoshop from space.
That's somewhere else in the world. That ain't
exactly.
That ain't that.
One of the theories is that it's actually Brazil or Argentina or Venezuela. They're saying that the counter argument would be, those are doctored, that there's no records of the inmates that were sent to Australia. The people that live in Australia are actually paid actors, which is something I went over on my Twitch live stream about a week or two ago. You guys can go check that out, Conspiracy Asylum on Twitch. I went through a bunch of evidence, and one of the videos I watched basically outlined this perfectly, that nobody can refute that it might be photoshopped, that all of Australians are paid actors, and I went over why does it have to be paid actors. Every one of these theories that have to do with certain school shootings, which we'll probably never cover at least one of them, and I don't even want to say the name, certain school shootings and other things, they bring in the whole crisis actors theory, saying that crisis actors came in, they're the ones talking to the news, they're the ones being interviewed by people, they're the ones that are influencers from Australia. They made up the accent to make it seem a little different. And if you cannot refute that bullshit claim, they think that proves that they are correct. And that's evidence to them. It's a product of a bunch of people that have never been told no in their fucking lives.
Basically.
Basically that. One arguing that Australia does exist might point to the inclusion of maps as evidence. One believing that it doesn't exist would say that the British government has forced cartographers to include it as part of the cover-up. One might point out satellite photos such as a GPS, but again, this is just because of the meddling of the British government. Surely meeting a person seeing an animal native to Australia would prove its existence. But maybe the people are just actors, and the animals are from somewhere else in the world. Ultimately, one could visit this place, but believers would respond that it is just a cover-up. That if one attempts to travel there, you are just being taken to parts of South America or islands near the area of Australia. In this way, if one buys the possibility of the cover-up, then at least this would call into question the existence of Australia. So, with a lot of people, all you have to do, people that might be going through some fucked up shit in their lives, or gullible people in general, you just give them a little morsel of information and they will run with it.
Yes, they will.
That's what's happening here, is that somebody gets a little bit like, hey, wait a minute, I guess I never thought about that. And it's not so much, I always encourage people to look into everything. I look into crazy conspiracy theories. I always encourage people to look into it, but I also encourage people to not get sucked in and try and keep a level head while you're doing it. As someone that's looked at a lot of conspiracy theories, crazy ones at that, I've had to keep a level head while looking at the evidence, because some people are really good at trying to convince people of it. Flat earthers, in some ways, some flat earthers are very good at it. Very good, scarily good at it.
I just think, is this logical? through most of these conspiracy theories. I just sit there and think, is this logical?
Well, that's how they get you with shit like this too, though, is that they can twist it to seem logical.
Nah.
But yeah, you're stubborn like me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not going to affect you as much as maybe other people. And same thing with me. I'm not going to get sucked into shit like that because I don't give a fuck. I will criticize every side of any kind of argument if it doesn't sound right. Even if it's something that I believe in wholeheartedly. For this belief, people who believe it are severely misinformed, not only about geography, but also about how arguments work.
Oh boy, we're going down this rabbit hole. Hang on, guys.
They leave it to people that would disagree with them to prove them wrong. If they have a belief, then the burden of proof for whether the belief is true or not lies on them, not with the other side. Right there, what I was just talking about.
Mental gymnastics.
Yes, it is. It's almost like an abusive relationship where they say the right words at the right time in the right tone, and they say, hey, this isn't how arguments work. This isn't how information is processed. You can't believe this person because they're not doing it the right way. That's where you end up with theories like this.
Manipulation.
Yes, severe manipulation. It's borderline fucking abusive. They seem to believe that simple doubt about something's existence is equivalent to that thing not existing.
I have a few examples that would work for 2020 there.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. There's so many. Oh, my God. Well, so many people were trapped inside, and that's why,
I mean, what are you supposed to do after you get done watching Tiger King? Seriously.
Right? So many people are trapped inside, and this is something that the media doesn't talk about a lot. No media source talks about it, and it pisses me off. It's one of the most heartbreaking things about all of this is that they don't talk about mental illness and how it's affected by COVID in general, the lockdowns, wearing a mask all the time, all of those things. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't do anything, but I'm saying that they refuse to talk about the suicides. They refuse to talk about
the amount of depression in children even.
Yes. The kids' lives are completely turned upside down. And that kind of rolls into what we're talking about here. Somebody gives somebody a morsel of something when they're under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure that they could believe anything. And that's how people end up believing this type of shit. You'll see that a lot of people that are mentally ill or have learning disabilities tend to believe stuff like this.
Not saying that,
And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm using it as a descriptive. I'm using it as a fact. If you have a learning disability, you have a learning disability. It doesn't make you stupid. It just makes it so you learn different. And then if somebody explains something to you in a certain way, you'll probably believe it because of the way that they're explaining it. Or it's the opposite. It's where no matter which way anybody explains something to you, you're not going to believe it. So you could fall down the rabbit hole both fucking ends there. They do not present anything that would work to force the conclusion that Australia doesn't exist. At very least, most other conspiracy theories of this sort have proof, however flimsy, that it really did happen that way. This one, however, just tries to ignore history. I completely agree with that so far. But yeah, okay, so when people look at evidence for this, again, this guy actually explained it kind of well. This is just another random article from somewhere, okay? Now, there isn't an official website like with Birds Aren't Real. There's Australia Being Fake is actually on the Flat Earth website. I got part of this from there, but most of it came from an article that was written in 2019 by a random person on the internet. So it's just a username. It ends with 165. When we discuss this stuff, and we're talking about Australia being fake, all of the evidence is doubt. It's 100% doubt. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have any hardcore like, oh, look, this person admitted, this high-up official admitted that Australia wasn't real. This person admitted that they were a crisis actor that was supposed to be Australian. Which, with the internet now, TikTok? I mean, fuck's sake, we got TikTok. You can go out there and fucking say whatever you want, and the video would be out there at least for a little bit before they take it down, there would have been at least one person from Australia saying, hey, I'm a crisis actor. And they drug us. That's one of the things, too, to get to Australia. Supposedly, they drug you on the plane.
Huh.
With gas, or they put something in your food so that you don't see what you're flying over. That's how they explain how they get from somewhere to Australia. They drug you. It's fucked up. But basically, that encompasses the whole Australia's fake theory. There's a guy that really believes it that's on YouTube that I covered on my Twitch channel, our Twitch channel, and you can go check it out, Conspiracy Asylum. I went through 2 of his videos. Again, flimsy evidence. Basically, all of the videos were him trying to bat off haters with a fucking stick because they were...
Yep, keep making that motion, babe. I'm sure the neighbors would love to see that.
Fucking Christ. They better love it.
Oh, my God.
But, okay, that's Australia being fake. It's fake, babe.
Congratulations, guys. You just sat through a lot.
A lot of bullshit. We appreciate you guys joining us. We appreciate all the support. But...
Is Australia real?
The question is here. Is Australia real, babe? Should I go first?
I don't care.
It's fake as shit. No, I'm kidding. No, Australia definitely real.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any evidence that shows to the contrary. There's a lot of interesting points when it comes to animals and stuff like that. I didn't discuss that too much, but they say that the animals are so crazy there that it can possibly exist. Like, I don't know.
I mean, look at the size of the spiders, and like they have Tasmanian devils there and shit. Yet they know that shit can stay there. Yeah, I think that Australia is real.
Well, it would make sense too because it's a big island that's by itself. It's going to have some creatures that no other island has.
Right.
I mean, that's going to happen. That's not anything new to our society. I mean, it kind of makes me worried for our society that that's kind of how we think now. Is that because there's no evidence proving this,
then it's not real.
Then it's not real. You know, it's kind of, well, it's not even that no evidence is being presented. It's that I think all of the evidence is fake. I don't have any proof that it's fake, but the fact that the doubt is there makes me think that it's fake. Mm-hmm. Mental gymnastics is the perfect way to describe it. It's mental gymnastics. But, babe, do you believe it's real?
Yeah.
Australia?
I believe it's real.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Shout out to all of our Australian listeners. The last time I looked at the analytics, we did have people from Australia listening. So
that's kind of cool.
From fucking everywhere. There's some weird countries in there, too. Like, some random countries in, like, the Middle East and shit. It's fucking cool to know that people all over the world have, like, randomly listened to us.
That is kind of neat.
Yeah. And I know the UK was that was, like, second place, I think. UK or Canada.
Yeah.
We had some Canadian listeners for a while that were loyal listeners and Patreons and stuff like that. But that will open up again eventually, guys. I will get that rolling again. But as it sits right now, we're just going to be doing nothing but free episodes. We used to do a Patreon exclusive episode every once in a while. I don't think we'll be doing that for a while. I want to do this for fun. And I want to do it for us, first and foremost, not to be selfish, but for us to do something fun together, and then for you guys. Something for you guys to listen to and hopefully enjoy. And let us know what you guys think. Let us know any comments you have about this episode. TheConspiracyAsylum@gmail.com.
Yep, I was just going to ask, how can they get a hold of us?
Yes, TheConspiracyAsylum@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter. I'm not on there very often. I run all the social media accounts. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think that's it. Pretty sure.
We got Twitch.
We got Twitch, too. Yeah, go check out the Twitch channel. Give me a comment on that video. Let me know what you thought of the video. If maybe you want me and Kim to do a live Twitch stream similar to that. It doesn't have to be conspiracy theories. We could just be fucking around on the internet. Which that just sounds fun.
Oh, jeez.
That just sounds fun.
Well, when we had the idea of we could do like Omegle or something and go through random people and ask them what their favorite conspiracy theories are, but
I like that idea.
I'm just terrified of like running into fappers.
Fappers? Like dicks?
Yes.
Oh.
Like the real kind.
Well, you just made me want to go on Omegle now.
Oh, man. Save your gay for another day.
I ain't gonna save my gay for another day. It's coming today. I'm just kidding. I ain't got no hate against gay people.
Yeah, me neither.
Nope. None. Zero. Love all you guys. We do appreciate the support. We love you. Go ahead and hit us up, theconspiracyasylum@gmail.com. You got anything else to add, babe?
No, just thank you for listening and being loyal to us.
Yes. We appreciate it. We love you guys once again.
You are now locked.
The padded cell is now open. You may leave. Bye, co-conspirators.
Bye, guys.
Bye.